Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Deborah D. Jenkins, your host for Black Talk Platform. I have as my guest tonight Miss Cheryl Abbott, who I am awaiting her arrival in the studio. This important interview is being done on behalf of Miss Toni Vaz. Miss Toni Vaz is an incredible woman and is approaching her 100th birthday next fall, in the fall of 2022, and a very well-deserved campaign has been started by her niece and others to get her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and therefore Black Talk Platform, Sable Network TV. We are joining in the campaign to get Miss Toni Vaz a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, what I would like to do while we're waiting for Miss Abbott to join us is I would like to share a video, but I do have a video that I'd like to share with you featuring superstar Angela Bassett, who is the highest paid woman in television. We are pleased about that.
If you're anything like Toni Vaz, the last few months in quarantine have been stifling. It's almost like life has been put on pause, like we're all just sitting around. That's why tonight, Toni Vaz's story feels appropriate. When Toni was a kid growing up in the 1950s, she was stuck in the house too, but it wasn't a pandemic that kept her inside. It was a strict Caribbean mother. You see, Toni's parents were from Barbados. They immigrated to New York before Toni was born. But like most immigrants, leaving their nation behind didn't mean they left their values behind. That meant that Toni's world consisted of church, school, and home. Emphasis on home. After all, they were black children in the 1950s in New York City, which meant that Toni's mother was a black woman raising 4 kids alone in a foreign country. Now, being a black mother in this country today nearly makes you a superhero, so I can only imagine what it was like for her. Toni spent her childhood feeling restless. She knew that there was a whole world out there and she had a place in it. So Toni decided to enroll at the Joe Louis Modeling School. She was approached by another girl, an acquaintance, and asked her, "Why are you sitting around here in New York when all the action is in Hollywood?" Toni flew across the country, anxiously anticipating all the adventure that was about to be coming at her from every direction. And then when she finally got to Hollywood, she just got sat around. But one day while she was sitting around, a neighbor approached her and said that her husband was heading to a studio to audition for a film. She asked Toni if she wanted to go down there with them. When they got down to the studio, the producers didn't want the husband, but they did need an extra for an African scene. So they asked Toni, the little girl who grew up in a house so strict that she couldn't watch movies, if she wanted to be in one. Finally, here it was. The thing that she didn't know she'd been waiting for. Her ticket to the world. Again, Toni said yes. The movie was Tarzan the Ape Man, released in 1959. Toni's first stunt job. No audition, no training, no nothing. Toni's co-star was Leo the Lion. They threw a piece of meat in front of her at her feet and Leo the Lion came running through the scene. They thought she'd be afraid, but at that point, the only thing Toni was afraid of was boredom. Next thing she knows, Toni gets a call from Central Casting. The call was to do background for Anna Lucas. After she did that job, she got a call to do stunt work for The Singing Nun with Debbie Reynolds. There was no training for stunt work back in those days. Nobody really told me what to expect. They just said action, and you had to go. Next thing you know, you're jumping, flying, or running away. Like when Toni was cast as an extra in Porgy and Bess, all she had to do was look out the window Sammy Davis and Sidney Poitier. And after they said action, she looked out the window, and all of a sudden the window came loose and she came flying out and landed on a mattress. She had no idea she was even doing a stunt. She thought she was really falling. Thank God it's not like that today. So with no training whatsoever, Toni kept doing more daring stunts. Like the one she did in Mission Impossible as a stunt double for Cicely Tyson. When she got there, the director came over and said, "I'm glad you're here. Now, what I want you to do is be the last one to get in the helicopter." Toni and 4 guys ran out of a car to the helicopter. As soon as she got 1 foot on board, it took off into the sky. Luckily for Toni, her scene partner hit his mark and pulled her right inside before she would have fallen out. And this time, Toni said she didn't see no mattress. Just like that, Toni had a career in the motion picture industry. There she was, a little Bayesian girl from New York doing stunts in Hollywood movies, having adventures that she never dreamed of. It was around this time Toni started traveling. Every time she had a hiatus, she took off and went to another country. Toni visited over 50 countries all by herself. She says traveling was fantastic. She'd land in a place where they'd never met a black person. Some people were so curious about her skin color, she'd let them touch her. Toni says traveling alone as a black woman was safer. Back then, people were curious, but friendly. They made her feel at home wherever she went. But Toni wouldn't travel alone like that now. Now with all of the news stories of police shootings in every part of the country, including our own backyard. Even though Toni came of age before the Civil Rights Movement during the Jim Crow era, when some people believe that black people's blood wasn't red, she feels like now more than ever, the world is infected with hate. That's it. No, Toni still remembers back in the day when she tried to get a story in the Screen Actors book. She sent $600 in to be in the magazine, and when they found out that she was black, they sent her money back. She saw that black actresses were not able to get the same roles as their white counterparts. If you were black, you were relegated to roles in movies as a hooker or a dope fiend. But Toni had never seen that kind of person. She didn't have hookers in her family. There were no dope dealers in the church. She wanted to know why the black people she grew up with couldn't be on screen. Where were the professional blacks who commanded respect? Why couldn't black people in the movies be smart? Why couldn't they be beautiful? Toni wanted good roles for herself and for everyone else who wasn't white. Toni, whose eyes had been opened by adventure, realized that instead of sitting around, she had to do something to change the narrative. She realized that we as black people had to demonstrate to the world how they ought to treat us. That instead of waiting for white Hollywood to celebrate us, to see us in a positive light, we had to do that for ourselves. She figured if we as black people honored each other, then others would follow suit. And maybe better roles would be created for us. This was how Toni came up with the idea for the Image Awards. At the time, she was working with the NAACP, and together they decided to create the NAACP Image Awards to celebrate black actors. The first Image Awards happened in 1967, 53 years ago, and dare I say, it worked. The parts for people of color are so much better today, and we have Toni to thank for it. For the last 50 years, Toni has had to fight to get her rightful place in history. And recently, the NAACP officially acknowledged that Toni was in fact the creator of the original Image Awards. That's the kind of tenacity Toni's always had in her. Toni completed over 20,000 hours as an extra. She did what she set out to do, live a life filled with adventure. She married not once but twice. She got to meet the Beatles. She never had kids, but she had a dog that she loved like a child. She has no regrets. These days, Toni's enjoying a slower-paced adventure on the NPTF campus. But she's not just sitting around. She enjoys the beautifully landscaped grounds of the live broadcast on Resident Channel 22. She even took a star turn on an episode of Behind the Silver Screen where she told her life story. Even though we're in a pandemic and the MPTF provides residents a full life of activity on campus, and Toni never lost her sense of adventure. She's fascinated with Black Lives Matter, the young people of all different ages and nationalities standing together. A reminder that the world doesn't have to be so divided. We can learn from Toni's life. We can follow Toni's lead. Just like Toni, we can live life fully, unapologetically. Once we wake up to life's abundance and decide to stop sitting around, we can take the adventures others never thought possible.
Well, hi, Toni. I'm Angela, and it's such a pleasure and an honor to have this way of meeting you. So I am very honored to meet you because I am a proud recipient of about 13 Image Awards.
Oh, okay. I have one over here, too.
Yeah.
It'd be a pleasure one day if you come down here and say, come down here. Are you in Los Angeles?
I am in Los Angeles. Yes, I am. That would be a pleasure. I could come and see some of those pictures I see behind you on the wall. I'm sure those are from some exciting days.
Oh, yes. And do me a favor. Would you send me a picture of you?
Certainly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Certainly. I know your address. I know where you are. So I'll send it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take your story with me.
Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Okay. That was so pleasing to me. She's so cute. I love the seniors. I love the elders. And what we are doing tonight is honoring Miss Toni Vaz. And I think Miss Angela Bassett did an awesome job. And I hope that when I bring on her beautiful niece, Cheryl Abbott, who is in the green room, she will let us know whether or not Miss Bassett has gone to visit her aunt. And do we need to renew that invitation? Welcome, Cheryl. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Black Talk Platform. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you, Doctor, for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me get us a better layout than that. That's better. That's better. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much. Yes, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your aunt with Black Talk Platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I love that piece with Angela Bassett because she actually taught us about your aunt's entire career. Mm-hmm. And when I personally think, and I'm sorry to jump right in there, but the video was so exciting. When I think about how long her career was, how trailblazing she was, I am just floored. I think we all need to honor your aunt for her career, and look, still being in one piece. Being in one piece.
Oh, yes. Yes. Sound mind, sound body. She's wonderful.
Oh, that's one. I like the fact that you love her so much that you have taken it upon yourself to lead this campaign. So now tell us a little bit about, and everyone who's watching, if you could set your settings in social media to public so that we can all retweet, YouTube post, as well as Facebook posting with the hashtag tonivazstar. I'm going to put it in the chat so that everyone can see it, but if you can please do that for us, because that is what we're talking about tonight. Okay. Miss Abbott is about to share all of that with us, but I just wanted to do that little housekeeping, asking you all to do this with us. Thank you all for joining me and Cheryl tonight, but we want you, as you post and as you share, to share it with this hashtag that I'm about to type in right now. Okay, Cheryl, I am so sorry. I should have done that perhaps before you came on board, but it's done now, and we're going to share it out and post it here so that no one will have to ask, what did she say? Okay, it's there, everybody.
Toni,
did I get that right?
Toni with an I.
Oh, see, don't do it. Don't do it yet. Let me take that out.
Toni with an I. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once again, Toni Vaz star. Gosh, everywhere I put it, I've had it with the Y. Darn it.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. Now we're getting it right. And the recording is what really matters.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm getting feedback.
Yes. Thank you to your audience. Yeah. So, Aunt Toni, I met her about 15 years ago because I'm in entertainment business. So my other relatives knew that what I do, because I manage a lot of comedians and I book them around the world for military bases and colleges and the whole thing. And I work with R&B artists. I work with everyone. Been doing this for about 20 years. Name of my company is Celebrity Artist Entertainment. And so one of my relatives told me about Aunt Toni. She says, you have an auntie who created an award show, and she lives in Vegas. And I'm thinking, probably a little small neighborhood local award show. So she said, it's N something. I said, wait a minute, NAACP? She said, yes. I said, oh my God, wait, what are you talking about? So she gave me Aunt Toni's number, gave her a call. At that time, she was about 87 years old, and she was sharp. I thought I was talking to my best friend. She was so sharp. She knew everything. And her whole gripe was she was fighting for the last 50 years to get NAACP to honor her as the creator and founder of the Image Awards. And they ignored her for 50 years. And she fought this by herself. By herself, she did this. So I said, you know what? I'm here. I know a couple of people. Let me make a couple of phone calls and let me see what I can do. It took a minute. And then as of last year, when she turned 90, she was 98 years old, the president of NAACP, Derek Johnson, I believe Derek Johnson was he's a new president, and I think he kind of understood and he felt what was really happening. And he took it upon himself and said, let's give this woman, let's honor her. Let's give this woman this award. Let's let this woman know that, yes, you are the founder and creator of the NAACP Image Awards. And they invited her to come out. They invited her, well, let me back up. They invited her the year before. And she came out, that's when she was with Anthony Anderson. She was in the audience. They announced her, but there was nothing. There was like no stage presence. There was no videos. There was no award. They just announced her from the audience. And I said, oh, no. We got to take this another step. You have everybody else. You guys have grace the stage, walk on there with us and receive a trophy. Aunt Toni needs to get one too. Right. And so the next step was they was ready to do that, but then we had the pandemic. And so there was no award show where in person. So they said, we'll mail her award and she can make her acceptance speech right then and there. And so where she's living at the Motion Picture Retirement Home in Los Angeles, in Woodland Hills. And I called those folks up and I said, y'all gotta roll out the red carpet for her. We have to make this whole thing a ceremony. Let her walk down the aisle, get her award, and then make her go back into her room and make her acceptance speech through Zoom for the NAACP. And they did. And it was wonderful. And she was so happy. Happy.
That is just wonderful. I need to meet her if I can. I need to meet her. I'm in New York.
Okay, I'm in New York.
Look, if they can put a plane up there and it doesn't fall out of the sky, I can make my way across the country because she is someone who needs to be honored.
Yes, she does.
And it actually saddens me, Cheryl, that she had to fight for this.
She fought.
And I can only imagine that it had to do with rights and money. I'm that's just me saying that. I don't want to, because I understand why we're here. But it's not unlike the reason that caused the awards to even become, according to the video. Yes, the inequality in Hollywood, the poor roles that were being given to Black women in particular, but also other Blacks and minorities. And so she's a trailblazer who should be honored with everyone else who, and she also worked for the NAACP. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to you for getting her facility to honor her in a proper manner.
Yeah.
Because in some ways they're all all of the residents there, they're all important to all of us. They've given us all something. And for you going to encourage them to do more for her, I think that's just beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. And the way she ended up coming up with the idea, well, Angela mentioned a little bit about it. Well, it was based on the director. There was a new chapter in Los Angeles called the Hollywood branch, NAACP Hollywood branch. Okay. And they said, you know what? We need to start generating money, getting more members. We need to do something to make this branch very attractive. So everyone went home, came back the next day or so with a new idea of what they can do to help make this thing grow. And on Toni, a few people threw out different ideas. And on Toni said, well, why don't we have, because she's a dark-skinned Black woman. And then she realized that all the roles she was getting, prostitutes, she got tired of it. So she says, why don't we ask the producers who are trying to give Black people decent roles, why don't we acknowledge them and have an award show? And why don't we call it the Image Awards? Because it's based on the image. Yes. And that's how the idea came. And that's how she came up with the name and the idea. And since then, so many celebrities, you know, Beyonce, this one, that one, Tyler Perry, they all have gotten awards. And you know what they all said? They said they can receive an Oscar, an Image, an Emmy, but it's nothing like getting an NAACP Image Awards, an award from your own people that recognize you and identify. And they said, powerful. That's powerful. And on Toni, she was a, you know, Bayesian woman in the back. She said every year she watched that award show and would cry by herself and say, they don't even know I exist. They don't even know, these powerful entertainers don't even know this was my idea. And so it took a long time. You know, she said, they didn't think I was going to be around to see this, but I'm here. I'm here. She said, God, she's 98. She said, every year I wrote to them, they probably said, she's still writing now? She 80. How old? What? 90? What? Now she's and they give it to her at 99 years old. And I think, you know, and I have to say this from my heart is, you have NAACP out there fighting for everybody else's cause, everybody else's rights. How can you ignore the woman that put on one of the biggest award shows for you guys when you're generating so much money? How could you not honor her? You know, how could you?
You're about to make me cry. I mean, it's really horrible that, you know, your own will treat you in such a way, but it happens, and I'm not making light of it.
No.
But I am thoughtful because I didn't know she was Bayesian until, you know, the video, right? And am I right or am I wrong that Barbados just elected, come on, right? Just elected a woman as president and removed the connection to the UK, to the Queen. I love it.
That's right.
And
that's right.
When you think about the tenacity of Miss Vaz, you see that it's rooted in the blood, right? You know, we don't stop. We don't stop fighting for what is right. And I just think it's no coincidence that historic movement there happened, and this is happening for your aunt. And we want to know, and thank you, audience, for being here. Yes, Deacon Sanja, wow. I mean, this is an incredible story, and we want everyone who's watching to tell somebody else. I want everybody to tell 5 people. Can you tell 5 people? Miss Abbott, the person, Deacon Sanja, she's there in the comments. Her daughter is a filmmaker, and I'm just saying, Deacon Sanja, I'm just saying, you know, I think this is a story that your daughter would be so interested in. This is just incredible to me. Tell me how the campaign to get your aunt a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame came about.
Okay, well, after she received her award and being recognized as the founder of the NAACP Image Awards, she said, well, my next thing I would like is a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Why not?
Why not? Wow. Everybody else got it that you helped. Why can't the woman who created it get a star too? I made a phone call. I started making phone calls. I started calling the folks over at the Hollywood, Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I said, what can we do? And they said, well, you know what? You can submit an application. We can review it. But just so you'll know, it costs a couple of dollars. you have to pay for it, and you're paying for maintenance. What you're paying for is maintenance. You're not paying for the star. You're paying to build the star, the maintenance, and somebody to keep it clean for the next 50 years or whatever. And that's a nice piece of change. So I said, okay. So I submitted her last year. They passed on her, and so now they said the application is good for 2 years. And I figured this is time to go hard. It's time to let everybody in the industry know we are trying to give this woman her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Every celebrity who's ever won an NAACP Image Awards. Angela Bassett said she won, what, 13?
13.
Tyler Perry's got a couple. Beyonce got a 20, 30, whatever that number is. So I'm just making that part up.
Yeah.
But so I just want to reach out to anyone who's ever been a nominee or winner to just, we're going to do the tonivazstar, the hashtag tonivazstar.
Yep.
And have them also do a small little video drop just to say, I support Toni Vaz. And that's what we're going to do. And so submissions open up April 1st or so, and it runs April, May, June, and then they make a decision. And they can, out of all the submissions in the world, they can only accept about 200. I went on Toni to get hers now.
Yeah.
And so she's turning up 100 years old in December. If she gets her star before, that's all going to be a nice tie-in. Her star, her 100th birthday, it's going to be wonderful.
Absolutely. So what we need to do, I'm just trying to help strategize. And I know Pamela is here who connected me to you. And thank you so much, Pamela, for connecting me and Cheryl. Look, we're going to make this a working session here for everyone who is here. Unfortunately, I and Cheryl, we don't know who's actually watching, but we do know that there's some powerful people watching. And absolutely. And I am calling on you all right now. Make yourselves known. You have contacts from New York to California. You have contacts from Atlanta to California. Let's do this. You all have these contacts. Let's do this for Ms. Vaz, because all the time we sit down, we actually eagerly wait with anticipation to be able to view the NAACP Awards. Why? Because they represent the best in us, right? In terms of entertainment and political and social activity, all of those things. We wait because we think of that as our show. There are other shows, but we think of the NAACP Image Awards as our show.
That's right.
Ms. Vaz is the founder. And she had to actually fight
50 years
to be honored by the same organization through which the Image Awards are given. That should blow your mind and say you're going to do whatever you can to help get her a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, to be sure, there are I watch it all the time. They always do a news report when people get them. Some people they don't think twice about. Some people have the cash that is required. But I keep looking every year. I think it was someone 2 weeks ago I saw who was given one, and I was like, really? We're just now hearing about this person. Why are they getting a star so quickly? When I was growing up, these people, you had the Joan Crawfords when I was a little girl, just getting hers. People had to be in the industry for a while before they were given it. But now it seems like it's attached to who's most popular right now. And right now means like 5 years or 10 years or something. Speak to me if you can, and if you know, how does your aunt feel about that type of dynamic where people who are here today and literally gone tomorrow for different reasons, how does she feel about that type of thing?
You know what? We never talked about that. She never said anything about that. So honestly, I can't say.
Okay.
But I know she wants one.
Yeah.
And she thinks she deserves one.
I wanted you to talk about the process again. You said they're reopening on April 1st.
Yes. So it's a 2-year window. So when you first apply for an application, the application is good for 2 years. Okay. So the new nominee starts in April, which is in a couple of days. Okay. So what we wanted to do during Black History Month and Women's Month, we kind of had a little late start. We wanted to reach out to all the celebrities then, all the winners of NAACP past and present, and try to get them to go out and push for her to get a star. So we have like, I think opens up in April, and we have like a 2-month period window where they'll say yes or no.
Okay.
And then we'll find out. And then if they say no, they will say yes. But if they do say no, then we have to reapply again. But I don't want to have to reapply again. This is it. She's turning 100.
Yeah.
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now.
Let's do it now. She's turning 100 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. And we just don't know what tomorrow might bring.
Right. Absolutely. So they should honor her now. Yeah, and with the way I feel now, not what she would say, but what I would say, and you just touched on it. Yeah, some people don't have to pay their dues, and they get a star.
Yeah.
Some celebrities been around forever, and they overlooked. So I agree with you. Give it to the ones that really deserve it.
Absolutely. And I mean, and I didn't mean that to disparage those who they select, but we understand, that there is a internal political process that they employ to decide with this few when there's so many. Let me ask you, have you been able to reach any of these Image Award winners, former Image Award winners so far?
Not yet. We haven't started the campaign. We're doing it as of now.
Okay, so it's from April to June. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we wanted to reach out to the celebrities, the winners, before April 1st. We didn't get a chance to do that. We wanted to do it like in the month of March and the month of February during Black History and Black. And I kind of just brought this to Pamela's idea to her attention as she jumped right on and said, Cheryl, I got you. What do you need me to do? So she's setting up all the interviews. And normally I'd never usually be in front of the camera. I'm behind. I'm so far behind the camera that when Toni said, no, you know my story. You do the talking. I was like, okay, well, Toni, all right, let's get it done. Yeah. So, so we wanted to do it 2 months ago, but we got a little late start. So we're going to do it now. And so, we'll be doing it as soon as the window period opens up for the selections.
Okay, awesome.
The Walkoffame selections, yes.
Yeah, and I know Pamela's working hard to raise the awareness across platforms and even across the world because she has those type of connections, and that's wonderful. Because quite frankly, it could be someone who's residing overseas who actually brings this home for her. It's just how things are. But let me ask you, what can I've already asked the audience to repost with the hashtag that we have here. Let me put it back up. Okay, is that it? Yes. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's it. I was also sharing it along with the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So it's Walk of Fame hashtag, not Hollywood, just Walk of Fame. That goes directly to them. If we could just push that out, just keep pushing it out. We need to take a day or whatever. You all let us know how best to help you, and we can have a day of action that will add to your campaign, so that even if they don't see it, and we could connect hashtags with these celebrities. If you want, let us know how best to help you amplify Miss Toni Vaz's deserved reputation, career, and her luminary status as the founder of the NAACP Image Awards. How can we best help you? Audience, pay attention, please, because I cannot write it all, but please feel free to put it in the chat and I will post it. So tell us.
You know what? This is new to me. Pamela is the brains behind this whole thing. And I really believe that we just need everyone to just, the friends that you have here now, just have them push it out. The hashtag tonivazstar. Okay. What you just said as well is about the Walk of Fame, hashtag Walk of Fame. Toni Vaz has a Instagram account. It's Toni Vaz, is Vaz NAACP. just type in her name, Toni, Tonivaz, and you go to her Instagram account, and you'll see where we have photos up there where she has holding the awards on her pages. Just send all kind of wonderful comments to her page. Tag her page. I'm not really sure how the whole thing goes, but you and Pamela, I'm sure, will together, the three of us can put our heads together and figure out something. But I guess go to her Facebook page, Instagram, all her social media pages, and just make comments on it. And reach out to the celebrities, and also reach out maybe to the celebrities. Okay. And say, hey, I see you got, 10 awards. Would you mind sending something for Toni Vaz? Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And so we saw Anthony, was it Anthony
Yes.
Anderson?
Anderson.
I think he recently got a star. Did he recently get a star?
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, yes. And he was in this video with your aunt. So look, we're strategizing here who we want to go to, everybody. And we're praying for his family right now. But it was him and then this actress who she's such a funny comedian. You might know.
Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yvette Nicole Brown.
Yes.
She is extremely active in Twitter. She would be perfect for us to, because she gets involved with her followers. And so she's a great person for us to sort of get Miss Vaz back on her radar. Pamela, I'm just saying that. But however you all need me to help, I'm here to help. I'm here to help because I believe she deserves this. I totally believe that she deserves this.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So Anthony Anderson, he was hosting that award show that she went to. Okay. And so that's that same day when they announced her, but they didn't give her an award. That was a year before. And that's when I contacted the awards campaign again and said, hey guys, you need to bring her back. And they was ready to, but then we had the pandemic. And so she had to do it virtually. Yeah. Yvette Nicole Brown, the wonderful thing about that, she's on the board of directors for where my Aunt Toni's retirement home is.
Really?
Yvette Nicole Brown, she's on the board of directors. She loves Aunt Toni. Aunt Toni right now is the only African American at the motion picture retirement home. And this place is for all retired celebrities to go live there. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. I knew that, but I certainly thought it was more of us there than your aunt.
No, it takes a minute to get in. I don't know how they do the selection process, but she got in. And she said one of her friends told her about it. And because she was living in Vegas. And she was saying, you know what, I'm 95 years old. I have my dog here. Maybe it's just time for me to leave my home and go live on campus. She paid her dues all those years. Yeah. So she did. And she called her friend and said, oh, guess what? I got in. Her friend said, well, they denied me. She said, no. My bad. So, but she loved it there. It's like a wonderful camp. It's anything in entertainment is on their campus. They go to concerts. They have, it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful campus.
To live out your life.
To live out her life.
Given so much. Yeah.
Everything, cooking, cleaning, because she was still driving her car up until she was 95 years old, 96 years old. And she would drive, because she was living alone. So she would drive her car. She would go to the doctor, go to the motor vehicle. And she said she went to the motor vehicle to reapply for her license. And when the girl saw her date of birth on her driver's license, she said, like, you still driving? Yes. And passed the test and drove one out there and drove back home. So she was so active, so very active. And still is.
Was she able to take her dog with her?
No. Oh. No. And she had a dog. Her dog name was Bayesian.
Wow. Beautiful.
Just like Barbados. Bayesian.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't allow her to take her dog. And, she left it with a relative. So.
Okay. Still in the family.
So she was, and you know what? Yeah, well, that's another story. He didn't live long after separating. I guess it was heartbroken. Yeah.
Oh, right. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. Oh, my goodness. This is such a heartwarming story, but I hate the thought of the politics that may not give her what she deserves while she is among us,
Yeah. Right. Yes. Thank you. Yes. And she's, and one thing about her, her spirit is still pure. She's not an angry woman. She's never been an angry woman. She's never been a bitter woman. She doesn't cuss. There are times when, something may not be going well for her, whatever it might be. And I'll call her up and I say, "Hi, Aunt Toni, how you feel?" She's like, "Oh, I'm okay." And then I said, "You good?" Yeah. We'll have a good conversation. She'll, "Oh, by the way, yesterday so-and-so happened." I said, "Why didn't you call me?" So she's not that kind of person that's gossipy, that complain about everything, that's nagging. You have to pull things out of her to find out. And I like that about her, that she's not that type of, elderly woman who just wants to complain.
Right.
Complain. So she got a wonderful heart, and I'm telling you, I'll get you on a call with her. We'll do a conference call.
Yeah.
And you'll see she's sharp. She's sharp as a whistle. She remembers everything. Everything.
And then, I'm thinking about her as a stunt woman. Tell us a little bit about that, because that was in and of itself trailblazing. Tell us about your aunt, the stunt
woman. So she said, she became a stunt woman. She was doing extra work because they would never hire her as a leading lady or anything. So she had hours, over 50,000 hours of stunt background and stunt work. And she said, and Angela Bassett touched on it, if anybody didn't get a chance to see it. So she said she went to on a set, and they told her, they said, "Now I want you to go up on the second floor and, on the saloon kind of thing, and lean over. And I just want you to just lean over and look." And when she did, they said, "Action." The fence or the little bar fell, and she fell 2 stories on a mattress. So they already had the mattress down there.
Wow.
And she fell, and she said, "Whoa," and boom, she hit the mattress. And she said, "What happened?" They said, "Oh, you just did your first stunt." But see, you can't do that today. Hollywood, you have to have, there's rules, regulations, and when you're part of the Hollywood, when you're a member. And so she said, "Wow," and she didn't hurt herself. And they just said, "Here, take a shot of this little Bacardi. You'll be fine in the morning." And she said, "Okay." Took a shot. She was on to the next stunt and never stopped. Never stopped.
Wow.
She said they got more daring, and she did one with a lion. And she liked what she was doing, but there was really no committee to protect them either. Yeah. There was no committee, but she did what she had to do. And anytime she there was a hiatus, she went and started traveling the world. But she worked. Yeah.
I love it. And I am glad that they have the protections for them today, to avoid some of the really, really bad accidents and the tragedies that we've known to happen. But I feel like they got stronger after Bruce Lee's son, Jason Lee, was killed on a set.
Okay.
But he of course was the leading actor. They need to be protected. So does she have not broken, but like arthritis or anything like that from all the falls and all the stunts? Anything like that?
No aches, no pains.
Wow.
No aches, no pains. The only thing that slowed Aunt Toni down, and I told her this, and I'm sure everybody else knows, is this pandemic. Once they had the shelter in place and she's in her room, she couldn't go out. She was still working out at the gym at 95 years old, lifting weights, walking on treadmills. She was still walking. She was doing everything until they shut the world down. And then she started getting a little depressed. She's like, wow. So, she's seeing the pandemic. She's seeing this. She's like, well, maybe. I said, no, don't. It's going to get better. Yeah. It's going to be a brighter day. Yeah. And then, everything started lifting up again. But that's the only thing, because by her staying in her room and not going out to the dining area, just like anybody else, your bones start stiffening up. You start getting, so she's back. No broken bones, no aches, no pains, no nothing. When I tell you, nothing. Wow. Nothing. So God bless her. So I know I got some good joints.
Yes. You might be okay also when you get up there.
No dementia, no signs of nothing. So I'm telling you, she's blessed, and I keep telling her, "Oh, Toni, you're a blessed woman. You're blessed."
Yes.
No disease, no high blood, she's good.
Wow, she really is blessed. Another one of the deacons from my church, who is actually my sister, my oldest sister, she's saying that your Aunt Toni sounds like the mother of our church, Mother Olive, who will be, will she be 98 this year, in May actually, and just as spry. And the only thing that really slowed her down also was the pandemic. I mean,
Yes.
These two women sound like they run track around the rest of us and put us to shame with the little that we do, and we think it's a whole lot, but perhaps that's what's been a part of her longevity. And did you also say that she's a faith woman, a woman of faith?
Yes, she is. Yes, she is a woman of faith. Absolutely. She wears her crucifix around her neck. She said, God's got me. I'm in God's hands. She said it every night.
And she believes it, and it seems like she's walked in faith.
Oh, yeah, yes. Woman of faith.
So as we prepare to wrap up, I'm going to let you have the last call to action. But let me ask, is there in the campaign, is there a petition or anything like that that we can sign supporting, send it to the Hollywood Walk of Fame? I don't know what you all have planned, but we want this to not be an exercise in entertainment for us, but we really want to know how we can help you all to move the campaign forward.
Yes, we will have like a I guess it's going to be a petition. It should be a petition. Pamela's drafting that, and she's have some flyers that's going out every day, different flyers with information on how to move forward. So yeah, it's a big campaign, but yeah, I'm not quite sure how this whole thing is coming together, and I want to be honest. But Pamela, she's got it all together. So
yeah, and she's excellent. I see you over there, Pamela. She is excellent. I try to join her at least 2 or 3 times a week, but even one day a week does my day good. So I have no doubt that whatever she's planning for the campaign, yes, you all will be able to raise the amount of awareness and get that word out and spread further. And I hope my brother is watching, my brother friend for over 30 years. He also has a platform, and we're actually at dueling times right now, but I'm going to recommend him reach out to Pamela to invite you on his show, because he cares about our history, and Miss Vaz is a very positive part of our history, and we want to honor her in any way that we can.
Thank you so much. And Pam, thank you so much for that. And I look forward to doing that and meeting him as well. And Pamela, she's here in the chat, and her chat handle is BCAB2B. Does anyone see that? Yeah, there you have
I just posted her. Yep.
So that is
the incredible Pamela, who has put this together for Cheryl and Miss Vaz. And we're going to make sure to do what we can do to ensure that Miss Vaz is given a very serious look by the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and that she is also selected. We don't look. Everybody don't have to be a household name. In fact, I don't know if I want all of the household names having a star before Miss Vaz. Come on, can we keep it real, everybody? You all know that. And so I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. So whatever Pamela shares with me further after tonight, you know I will bring it back and share it with all of you, because the one great thing about the audience, and they're a group of regulars, Cheryl, they love action.
I'm sorry.
No problem. They love calls to action, and they will be right there when Pamela gives it to us clearer, how we can best help you all push this forward. We'll be right there. I tell you, we will use these platforms to try to get to the ears of the powers that be at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And we know that they're going to make a really good decision this year. We're just believing in advance, right?
Yes, amen. We got to put it out there in the universe. Yes, we are.
Right.
Yeah, yes, I pray that they do. And she has, and I think one of the reasons why they didn't do it before, and I shared this with her, and she said, well, you know why? I believe they looked her up, and they didn't find much press on her, for the past 50 years. But you know what that means? 50 years ago, they wasn't giving a lot of black folks a lot of press anyway.
Right.
So she said, and before I said it to her, she said, well, Cheryl, you know why? And I was like, look, this woman is still sharp. Yeah. Still sharp. So, yeah. So, I don't want to say if I'm going to say when she gets it.
That's right. When she gets it. So you have the support of Black Talk Platform and my network, Sable Network TV. We are going to use every connection that we have to push it forward in the way that you all desire that we do so, to make this happen. And we are just excited about what is to come for Miss Toni Vaz. She is well deserving. And you, Cheryl Abbott, you deserve a lot of credit for the awareness that is currently being raised about your dynamic aunt. And we hope that God blesses you and continues to bring you wonderful comedians. Anybody out there, you know who to go to. Miss Cheryl Abbott. She is a comedian representative.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you are very welcome. And Pamela, yes, it is the village that brings the groundswell. And that's what we're looking for, is a groundswell around Miss Toni Vaz, because she is well deserving. Let me tee up next week's show before we get out of here, and I let Cheryl give us any parting words that she has. Next week, April, I believe it's April 5th, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Now, some of you all are not going to like the guests specifically or particularly, but that's okay, because that's what Black Talk platform does. We bring on people if you don't like them or not, because we are independent Black media and we can do that. And so I am excited to welcome on Black Talk platform next week. He is known on Twitter as Marcel for Congress in the state of South Carolina, in District 7. He is waging a very strong campaign against the incumbent, who is one of the senior statespersons currently occupying the House of Representatives, known as, I believe, the House Whip, Mr. Congressman, the Honorable Jim Clyburn. And I'm really interested to hear what Mr. Marcel, that is his middle name, but that is how he has his moniker in this run. I'm interested to hear what he has to share with the people of South Carolina and the nation, because as Pamela said about this campaign, it is the village. Well, who is the village? People who look like you and I. And there are a lot of people in South Carolina who are not very pleased with their current representation, which is why Marcel is running for Congress. So come, you don't know, you can look him up. He's very active on Twitter as well. But if you care about our community and you feel that we're underserved in any way, come and listen to him. It's not a plea for your vote, but you know what? I think he deserves to be heard. And so therefore, he will be my guest for the hour on next Tuesday. Come, even if you don't like it, but be informed. Be informed. Don't just go to the ballot box without all the information that you need. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Cheryl for you to give us parting words.
I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your audience. I heard a lot of great things about you. You're a New Yorker in Brooklyn. I'm a New Yorker from Harlem and Queens now. And Toni's originally born in Harlem as well. Yeah, so
I'm from the better borough. I'm from the best borough, the Boogie Down. I am
the Boogie Down. Okay, all right, okay, good. And so I just want to say,
Queens will not even mix it up with the Bronx side. That's okay. They have a little more class, I guess.
But yeah, so thank you so much. I just pray we have a couple of months, and I just pray we get this done for her now. I for some reason in my spirit and in my heart, I feel it's going to happen. And I think with this campaign, we will get it done for her. Yes. I believe.
I'm attaching myself to that same faith. And again, hold me accountable for helping in any way that makes sense to you all. Nice. For me to continue to do. There are only a few weeks. Just tell me, and we can just do something every week. Honestly.
Okay. Thank you, Pamela. You got that, right, Pam? We will be contacting you for sure. And I just want to thank, and anybody else that's here listening, I really appreciate if you can just join in and help us as well. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes. Everyone, please do. And I thank you all so much. And yes, Dawn, this is a friend of mine, a sister friend of mine. I think she said it right. Overdue. It is overdue.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. And so I think some people never thought about who created it. I think people just go get an award and Nobody ever thought about maybe they thought the NAACP created it, but didn't know there was that little woman in the back that, that did
well,
it. So.
I think the sad part for all of us is that we don't think about it. We're here to be entertained. Right. And so we don't think about that there are people who are actually thinking up these things, these awards and programs for our betterment. And so now we are educated. Now that we have the information, we must share it. And so with that, everyone, I say thank you all for being with me and Cheryl tonight as we raise awareness and we amplify the voice of Miss Toni Vaz. Thank you those of you who watched 3 hours with my mentors yesterday, Reverend Dr. Laverne Hall, Reverend Dr. Martha Simmons, and Reverend Dr. Eleanor Moody Shepherd. I thank you all so much. I will rebroadcast those to end out Women's History Month on Thursday. God bless you all, and come back next week for another episode of Black Talk Platform.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good night, and stay well, stay blessed.